Mm, okay, fine. Mm, sharing my screen এটা কোথায় জানো? হ্যাঁ, এই যে পেয়েছি। তাহলে entire screen. So I'm sharing it now. Right. Okay. So welcome to the last but one session of Consumer Goods Cloud Retail Execution Training. So in today's session, we are going to cover quite a few things, but if we cannot, we will target those for the last one. So in today's session, we will continue with the major part of visit planning. What are the visit considerations? What kind of templates we use? Why we use templates? And what are the ways of advance visit? Planning in advance in the application. If you see, everything in this agenda talks about how in different ways you can create visits. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. When we are talking about the visit, one visit can only be associated to one store or one account, however you are using Consumer Goods Cloud. Before scheduling a visit, if you do not have the required setup for the store, or whatever for the account, then the visit, you cannot really execute that visit. So what is that you have to set up? You have to set up products to that. You have to associate product to the store, and then kind of set up that visit priorities. So what kind of visit priorities your customer wants to set? The default is high, medium, low, but if you have anything else for your customer, you can do you can add that as well. You have to also kind of know, I mean, it's not you, basically whoever creates these visits towards the from the back end, whoever creates these visits, they have to also be aware of the store opening and closing hours, because the visits will always be kind of associated with that information, right? So you cannot have a visit in an hour, 9 o'clock in the morning, if the store opens at 10 o'clock. So all those considerations will be there. There might be requirements of automations where you will have to kind of automate validations when a visit is created. For situations where the store opening hours at 10 o'clock, but you are trying to schedule a visit at 9 o'clock. So even that kind of validation could be your requirement. And those are the things where you will have to kind of do automations through flows or validations, whatever. Add special instructions when necessary to guide field reps and clarify any activities that may occur outside the predefined tasks. Yes, so most of the time, if a certain category of stores, you will have in business, you will have certain category of stores. Some may be superstores, some may be kind of off license corner shops. So depending of what kind of stores are there, or those, or depending of where those stores are located, um, there will be a specific set of tasks or specific set of questions that people, these field reps will go and do or ask. But sometimes during, say, promotional activities, during Diwali, during, other seasonal festivals, maybe, if the store is running any promotional offer in those, timings, you might, or the company is launching a new product at certain time. So for those occurrences, there will be few things or activities that will be outside the predefined task. In those cases, you will have to, I mean, the person who is planning those visits or creating those visits, they have to add that kind of ad hoc activities as well. Okay. So the first consideration of our visit is visit template. I'll show you in the application as well. So visit template is, again, another, technically speaking, it is another object which is considered as blueprint to control the visit rules and types of visits. Um, in the mobile device, the visit icons that are visible, that will also vary depending on, what type of visit you are kind of trying to create. So for a say delivery visit or service visit or phone visit, all those icons are going to change. Meta type, what is this meta type do? You can see there is a field called meta type in the visit template, which while creating that template, you'll have to select one meta type. I think it is a drop down, I mean pick list. So it is just one option you can select. So it is something that is going to control the logic of a visit. So there will be some flows that are there if you kind of open your application, and this demo application that you have enrolled for. In the demo application, if you go to flows and all, you would be able to see some flows which are specific to visit logic. So those will be controlled by these meta types, and your analytics and many KPIs will depend on how the visits are, how the visit is behaving. So it is not recommended to randomly add any custom meta type. If you are trying to add any custom meta type, then be sure that how you are going to add any logic for that meta type. So the tips is, for us, like, what we have seen, and I think in somewhere in the help document also it is mentioned that for most kind of types of visits, you will use this meta type visit unless there is specific that your customer has delivery visit, separate. They have completely different delivery visit, and there nothing else is done apart from the delivery. Then there might be a need of creating template for delivery visit. And there might be phone visits as well. Yes, sometimes the say field reps are not able to go, then phone visits are kind of a backup kind of a visit where they call the store and run through the questionnaires or kind of do a video call, things like that. So that this is also a common backup visit type. So to automatically relate an activity to visits, create an activity and then add visit template to the activity. Whenever a visit is created by using this visit template, the activity is also automatically added to the visit. Okay, so you will have a lot of activities now, associated to a visit, right? And you will like the application, your consumer goods cloud application, to automatically tie up all those activities to the visits, right? So there, I mean, there are instances in this application where all these activities and visit templates are associated to each other. So if you have a template called, ABC company visit template, and you have certain activities created as well, in each activity, if you just put that visit template, in each activity there is a field called visit template. So if you just put that visit template name, in that case, whenever a visit is created using that template, all those activity, those questions are going to be assigned. Definitely there are a lot of conditions uh, on whether you will be able to see those activities in your created visit. Like, say, in a certain activity, the customer also should be added to that activity. So there are um, child objects in the activity as well, where the the activity itself will ask to associate some customers. So your visit needs to be associated with those customers, any of those customers itself. And then the field rep for which who is assigned to that particular uh, uh, account should be also assigned to that particular visit. And then the field rep also should be the I think manager of that particular account. If we see this sales org, so sales org of visit template is also important. You have seen that sales also kind of a thing that is tied up with lot of objects in consumer goods cloud. So all those matching the consumer goods cloud application will take into account. And then user, so a particular, what do I say, user role is also, is anyone trying to log in or something? Because I feel,
Yes, I and admit that.
okay, okay, fine. Okay, okay, then it's fine. Hmm. Okay. So yeah, so user roles, only the users with the roles added in a visit template can use the visit template to create calls. And then there are status that are assigned to the visit. So any visit that you kind of create will be created with a status of planned. And then there will be a status of completed visit. There will be a status of abandoned visit, and I think there is also an unscheduled status as well. So this unscheduled status only appears if a visit is created in the application but it is not added in the calendar. Generally this happens in um, I have seen it happening in two scenarios. One is if the user that is assigned to the visit time falls outside his working hours. So in the sales org where you add the users, you add the working hours, right? So if the working hours is not matching with the visit time as well, then the visit becomes unscheduled. Also, certain kind of visit creation, there is a button called advanced visit. I think that one itself, if you create a visit with that button, then the visit will be created in the visit list. You will be able to see, but it is not going to be there in the calendar. I think that one as well, it comes as a unscheduled visit. Okay. So yes. So we have some slides on activities. If we read those slides, if we go through those slides, you will be able to understand better. So for now, what I will do is I'll show you the visit template. Guys, visit template. Yes. Yeah. So if you see, the application gives you, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So application gives you some certain kind of, visit templates already. And then you can go ahead and create any visit template as well. So if you see this particular type of visit template, which is grocery and sales, you will see that, what are the um, information that makes up this visit template. If you see, the meta type is visit. You can change it, but it is advised not to. If you want to create a template which is of any other type, it is advised to create a new custom one where you can use any other meta type. So whatever is there, let it be and use those. If you want to create something new, create a new. Something different, create a new rather than changing this. Okay. If you see user roles, so what user roles are, there in the application? These are the user roles that are there in the application, and some are chosen. So any user which are kind of added will be able to create visits with this visit template. Creation platform. This one is like mobility and laptop. So some visits, I mean, it depends on the business that if all of your visit templates that you are going to use will be applicable for both the platforms. Or if it is a phone visit, if you are using a template which is only for phone call, the platform might be only laptop instead of mobility. You will not need it, right? So those are the things. And then default duration. So if you see, if you create just a visit with this particular visit template, grocery slash sales, the default duration, you will see it will be 90 minutes. If you don't give a start date and end date, start time and time, or you don't have the opportunity to give that because the visits are auto created, the default duration will take this one. Okay. So there are other things, which are driven by this visit template, like for certain visits that are created with this visit templates, there will be some information which is mandatory. Sometimes if you think, okay, for my grocery and sales visit I do not need the company information when I am creating the visit, in that case I'll select it as not required. Sync options, yes. Complete call, cancel call. So these means that whether uh, sync will happen between the mobility device and the desktop. So if any visit which is created with this visit template has this one complete cancel call, it means that any situation the visits are going to be synced, whatever status they are, whether they are completed, they're cancelled, anything. So it depends on, again, what kind of sync options your organization will need. Consider POS check, add job policies. These are all, few things that you may like to explore more, because there are a lot of, mm, background processes that would be running if you check or uncheck all these. Mobility relevant, yes, because you would like to create or see visits from your mobility device also with this particular visit template. And then there are mobility colors and all. Again, those could be also changed. Whether a delete is allowed for a visit which is created with this template is also a part. Visit start related, again, this is also very important thing in the visit template. So for certain visits, your customer might say, you can just create a visit and then start a visit. You have seen that when you go to visit, there are there is a button called start visit, and you can start the visit by hitting that button. Okay, like this one. So, but in the mobility device, there is also one more, I don't know if it is available here in the mm, in the web, but in the mobility it is there, that start visit required to check in. So there is another button or another arrow called check in mobility. Any visit you go, there will be a button called check-in. If you are using a visit template which has this one, start visit required to check in. So for some business, they say that for each kind of visit, any kind of visit, or maybe certain kind of visits, the sales rep needs to check in first, and then limit to one visit in progress is also there for a certain account or store. For a certain sales rep, there should be only one visit at a time in progress until finish that visit or check out of that visit. You will be the same sales rep will not be able to start another visit which is created with this particular template. Then there is geolocation validation, and then location capture at cancel, capture proceeding time, all of these, see, lot of settings depends on the visit templates. So if you are using a visit template, make sure that when you create a new visit template, can you copy a visit template? I don't think so. Be sure that you know exactly what features you want to get out of that visit template. If you see, for a particular visit template, there are activities shown. This one you will only get to see here, like, yeah. So if you see, for a particular activity, there is an activity template and a visit template both. So as it is shown that these particular activities like questions and all will be added to the visits that are created with this visit template. Okay, let's go back to the visit template again. Yeah, so you are going to see wherever these visit templates are associated, you are going to see those records as well, like activities and like whichever visits are created by any sales rep using this particular visit template. Historic products are not there. um, Not very sure what this does. I have never used it. Maybe this visit template, what kind of products it will use or it used to use before, that comes as a record here. And of course there are upload files, activity customer sets, activity customers. Is this okay? This is kind of activity. I have gone to the activity, sorry. So this is like visits and historic products. So the visit template ends here. So you have to kind of know that what are the important things that are important for your business. Look at the sales org as well. So for any account you want to use, this visit template also should belong to this sales org. So all these matchings and all, you will be able to see those in the help document. I have already given the, yeah. So it is very clearly given that what are the conditions and what should match. So this is a very important consideration of creating a visit. A very important object, I would say, when you come to visit. Okay. So there are lots of ways of visit, as I told you, creating visits. So who creates these visits? Most of the time it is your back office. Your company will have some administrators or somebody sitting at the back office who really doesn't go for those visits, who just creates those plans. He generally handles the data. Sometimes that can be your sales manager as well, but generally the hierarchy is like that. The sales manager has a kind of overview. He gets the analytics reports from the application and kind of figures out that what are the accounts that needs visits, and which sales rep needs to visit those. Depending on his planning, the back office or the administrator will go and create those future visits for particular sales rep. Sometimes the sales reps will also be doing it, specifically ad hoc visits, or maybe, tomorrow. I do not have it in plan for tomorrow's visit, but I see that there is an opportunity to visit this particular store as well, apart from tomorrow's plan. So for these kind of use cases, the field reps also will be able to create new visit, and visits could be created from the web as well as from the mobile. Okay, but they look very different. Okay, most of the time from the mobile, it will be from the calendar. So in the calendar, there are buttons called new visit, and in the calendar there is a right side menu where you will see, job list visit, this visit, that visit, different kind of visit, which you will be able to create from the mobile device as well. But then, as we told, that since the mobile device is mainly used by the sales rep, it is for, their kind of giving them an opportunity to also create visits, but mainly it is done by the back office. So now, new single visit, different record types. Okay, so if we go to the visit list, so this is created from the visit list. So our visits are all created from visit lists, and some and one visit type we also have from calendar. So in the visit list, there are some buttons which are given by Consumer Goods Cloud. Each button behaves differently how the visits are created, and it is up to you which one your company wants to retain, and what your company says that okay, not now, maybe in the later release. So you can deactivate or remove those buttons which you don't need. Okay, so now we will go through each and everything to know how things work. So for the first one, what I'm talking about is this new visit. And there is also multiple new visits is another one. So for new visits, you are going to get a window which has different record types. And as per, you select those record types, different types of information. Sometimes more information is needed, sometimes less information is needed. Depends on your or organization's requirement. Like for our implementation, we probably we are sticking to a couple of, I think one record type here. If I go for multiple new visits, it's a completely different experience. Okay, let's see what our what I did I do any change? Okay. What does the visit say? Okay, so this is the visit list view, and you will get all these, like all list view and all. And whatever visit list views you want to create, you can create. Okay, with your filters, whatever you want to do. So if you see this visit list has a lot of information. Again, as per your requirement, you can change those information. Name is something that is auto-generated by Salesforce. And then you will have the created date and the planned start time. You will also have the planned end time. And you will, um, what is this? Sorry, for start. Is it start, just start date? Yeah. So plan start time also had start date and time. Start date just has start. So depends what you want to show. Status remark is not, nothing is there. Update last, no, nothing, no more information is there. Update last modified date. If you want to do that, you have to check that. And then account is there. What visit template is used is there. Created by is there. And responsible is there. So if you see, there is another field called responsible, which means that, this person is going to kind of implement or execute this visit, the sales rep. And if I go to visit, I'm going to see all these information here, like what visit template is being used, all these. And this is, I think this has already started, or it is abandoned. Okay. So it is already abandoned. That's why you cannot see any of those buttons like start, complete, anything. So let's see plan visit.
And
In,
responsible means the one who visits the store, right?
yes, yes. One who visits the store.
And
Um,
one more question I want to ask, that as you said that whenever we create a new visit,
hmm.
we have to select record type. Is the record type is the meta type or different thing?
No, no, no. That is completely different. The meta type is in the visit template, and uh, it controls some kind of automations that are there in the consumer goods cloud. Okay.
Okay.
And the record types are like, the general thing that it controls. I mean, the look and feel, what fields do you want to,
Filter
bring,
the quick list.
bring in? Yes. So all those. So if I see here new,
Mm.
I click on new, and I can see these four are the ones that are given to me. Now, I think we have record type for default visit, record type for DSD calls, editable, and read only.
Okay.
We are using editable, I think. Anyway, you can always go and see, what are there here. Sorry, is this? Ah. So if I click on next now, for default visit, you will see some mandatory fields. I think visit template is also there in as part of default visit as a man.
Editable. Editable means the whenever sales rep visiting, he's not sure whenever he gets the time to visit the store, right?
Edit, yes,
I mean, he's
editable.
not
I
sure whether maybe there is some
mean,
he have to visit multiple stores, and
yeah,
he is not exactly sure whenever he
sure.
want to visit,
Yes.
to get the time.
Yeah, I mean, until a visit is started,
Mm.
the visit is in planned status. The sales rep can always go and edit the information of those visits. Apart from few informations, the others he can go and change. So if you see here in new visit, there is there is a address field, there is a place field. Basically, it depends on what you have. You might have a retail store in your application which you are using. If it
Mm.
is not a retail store, just the address that you are using, yeah, I mean, the application is fine with having just the address. You can also, I mean, all of these are objects. Okay, location objects is basically a very important object for where the stores are located, where the inventories are located, all those. And then there are addresses of address. If I go to address, do I have anything? Okay. So here you will have all these, location type, see, warehouse, site, van, plan. So all of these are type of addresses, type of locations. Okay. So whenever you are going to create a visit, you will have to see that what you are using. If you are not using address but retail store, then you have to set up retail store first. If you are using address, just address, then you will have to again, set up addresses first and associate those addresses with your accounts. So all of those are the considerations. When you explore those, you will be able to understand kind of, what are the things that you need to know. Visit priority, yes, it is high, medium, low. It depends on what your business wants. Account, you can or you may or may not give the account, because here address is the main driver. So either you are driving it with the retail store or the location or address or contact point address. So this is not a account driven. I think that is, yeah, that was the reason why we did not use this, because we are all in our for our customer we are using the account for driving the visits, not all of these. We are not using retail store at all, and all of these we are not using. So we used account. That is why we did not use this one default one. Plan start time, end time. Yes, if you see, you will have the plan start time there. End time is not there. Again, I mean, mm, I think if you do not give an end time, it depends on the, if you are selecting an account, then it depends on the visit template where the account is associated to. You have seen in the visit template that there are customers, right, as well. So here, whichever visit template or whichever activity template, whichever timing it relates to, whoever is the person, the sales, the user who are the sales rep who are going to visit it. So all of those, comes into play when it comes to planned end time. If this is not mandatory, the application will pick it up from different, different records. Sometimes it may pick up from the sales org. It may also pick up, I mean, the duration of a visit are given in different places. Like in the visit template, it is given, it may pick up from the visit template. Then it may also look at the sales org and the user. When the user starts, what is the duration of the user's visits. So all these things are the parameters that it will look at, and if one is not available, it will go to the another. So there is a sequence how it is going to behave. Now this is also one issue, like if you do not have the planned end time and you also do not have the visit template here, then how it is going to take uh, those are the things that you know you will have to explore and kind of find out. If I now want to create one, do I have any address? This location, new location, new location, demo location, and location type, say it is visit, it is site, and there is nothing, right? Okay, so if I do this and then create and say this one, mm, maybe for tomorrow, I will create a visit from 12 o'clock. Okay, visitor might be the contact, it might be the user itself, or I mean, in the visitor field, you are free to use the visitor field to kind of put any one of them. And any other information you want to put, you can put it into the special instruction as well. Now let us try to save it and let us see that what was the account, NTO store 226. Let us try to see how, yeah. So if you see, there is no responsible field here. There is a visitor field, which is again, not mandatory. And if I go to this visit, it and date now. So this is the visit that we created today. If you see, there is no planned end date. So it is not taking, I mean, it depends on what you are using. So the consumer goods has not given you any automatic way of, creating the end time. For this visit, it is completely manual. Once you kind of, complete it, you will be able to, once you start visit, that one, that complete visit button will come. The end time will be there, or else you can just manually go and put the end time here. Yeah. So once you click this edit button, again that form will come up. And you can do other things like add tasks and view orders, view promotions. All of these are part of this visit. View questions, view service, view assets. All of those are part of any visit. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, what about the visit records that are not editable? How can the
This one,
sales
right?
rep
Read only, you are saying.
read only or the default?
Read only.
Whenever it's not editable.
Yeah, even I have not explored this one. Since now I am the admin, I will not be able to really see what it does. Read only visit, I think you will have to kind of see. Read only record in visit. Not, I have never seen that any visit is non-editable. Read only record type in visit. Consumables count. You may see something in the help doc. Read only page layouts, call layout, and read only page layout. Visit track information related to. Yeah, we will have to see. I mean, allow users to see only specified record type. Yeah, that we know how to do that. But
Maybe admin can edit,
admin
but
can do anything because I'm the admin. I'm not able to do. I'm not
yes,
able to see. And not sure what it does. See here in read only visit, you have the visit template information, although it is not mandatory. Again, you will have the start and time. You have a checkbox called all day event. It in the back end, it will tell that the whole calendar will be blocked. So things like that will happen. So if you just kind of try to add this all day event checkbox in any other kind of visit where it is not there, all those background things might not work. So then yeah, you will have to explore what it does in the background and then again implement those. So instead of doing it, that is why it is always uh, recommended that you use these visits. You may not use all of these. You may just limit to one or two, couple of, but use these. Maybe you can add one more information, but do not try to change this because a lot of background processes are there. Documentation is also limited. You will get some documentation, some understanding, but then without exploring or without researching, you might not be able to understand what is going on at the background. That is why we refrained from doing creating a separate template and all those things. Okay, so here if you see, this is the most used one, new visit editable. Here account is mandatory, for which account you are creating this visit. Again, visit template is something which is not mandatory, like for our applications, all for our customer. He told, well, I mean, their requirements were such that the visit template is the most optimum way, because because he has a lot of activities which we wanted to associate with the visits automatically.
Yeah,
So all those,
I have one question. Like,
yeah,
here account, like, when I have to which store I have selected, right? Like which store I have work on, like
right. So
whatever store
yes,
visit, then
store you
that
visit.
store the store information will be in the account object, right? In
Yes.
the account details.
It will be in the hierarchy
Mm.
associated with the store. However,
Mm.
not in all, if you see all these record types, I think only in the default record type I saw that you can put in store. See, you can put in
Retail
directly
store.
the
Okay,
store
okay.
information. See,
Mm.
this is the store information. And you also have the account information. But but here, I mean, this is a record type which you will use if you are strictly using retail stores, and you can make, this account also mandatory. I mean, that you can, all those things you can do. But if you are going to use this one, then there is, I don't see anything says that, is there any location, is there any address field here? No.
No.
So this is not a type of, if your customer is hell-bent on using retail stores in the application. I mean, he might have, hundreds of retail stores, but it is up to the architect's decision that, whether you are going to use account hierarchy, or you are going to use two different objects, account and retail store, and then associate account and retail store. So we decided that we will just use account. So account hierarchies are there. That's why this was enough for us. Account, account is mandatory in editable visit. And then, we have made responsible also mandatory, so that, we have which sales rep wants to do. We also did visit template as mandatory, so that that one is also kind of, mandatory. So all of these kind of plays a role that for your customer, what design you have done. Okay. But I can see overall there is a lot of information that is there. Not all of them are required, but you can see place also here. Yes, if you are using retail store, this also, kind of a place where you would, this is also a kind of record type which you can then use if you are using retail store. See, places here. You can use it. So retail store and account, and those should be, I mean, here there is nothing automated. I mean, if you just select an account and select a retail store, whether they're associated, I don't think the application checks all those things. So that data consistency, if you want, you can, create those validations at the back end, whether they are of the same account, those retail stores, all those things. You
So
can
account is basically the company name, and company might have different retail stores.
retail stores.
That's why
Account
the place
maybe,
does not populate automatically.
yes. Account may be actually the head office. Account may
Hmm.
be, you might have one company, but you might have, two different accounts, multiple different accounts, because one is the head office, one is the, regional office, one might be billing office. So it
Hmm.
depends on how you, create those um, hierarchies. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, then delivery visit is again, I mean, I have never used it, but it is again, it has a lot of, I can see it is almost the same thing that is there. Some additional status is also there. Okay, abandoned status is also there. Visit start, okay, this outside range and all, geolocation, reason code. If you have abandoned it, then what is the reason code for all those things are there. Okay. Here also you can use it as a place, the retail store. Sorry. So this is the new visit. I mean, it is completely manual, and it is only one visit at a time. Okay. We are coming to the first break. Anyway, you can see another button called multiple new visit. This is a completely different look and feel. Okay. Multiple new visit is this. So multiple new visit is, it is going to give you a search form, where if you just search, say if I search Relentio, will it give me anything? Yeah, see, it is going to give me only the accounts with NTO, and yeah, and what visit template I want to use here, and kind of visit creation date. This is mandatory. You can give a future date as well. Sometimes I can also put the city name and search. That is also possible. Why it is multiple, you can very well see that you can select multiple records and plan visits with selected customers. If you hit this button on this date, visits are going to be created. Okay, I think as per there is a visit settings. As per the visit settings, it is going to be created. Let me see. What is that? Yeah, searches and brings up accounts. User can select multiple persons, schedule visits for each at one go. So it is like you are going to be, which is the sales org here. Sorry. So the sales org is 001. If you see 0001. So if I just go to this sales org, do I have the sales org? Okay. So if I go to this sales org, what is this? Details, currency, and related user. Okay, visit template. See, the default visit template is grocery sales for this particular sales org, and that is why you will, always see the grocery sales here. And it is advisable that whenever you create a visit, say with this particular say with this particular account, NTO store, you have to select a visit template, right? So uh, for this 001 sales or grocery sales is the default one. Definitely you can use any I mean anything else as well. But if you go to account, in the related fields you can see a lot of related objects for the account. Not you will not need everything, but yeah, if you see here, customer visit settings is there. So there is, if you don't use this, you may or you may not use customer visit settings. If there is no record here, then that account is not using customer visit settings. So customer visit setting is something where you can kind of define that for this particular customer, for a particular validity period, say this is the validity period, uh, what are the settings that by default you want the application to take. Say for this particular customer, there is a particular visit template, and the time of the day when a visit by default starts is 8 o'clock. So all these things are will be coming into the picture when you use customer visit settings. And at a particular time period, there can be only one active customer visit settings, others will be inactive. Okay, so we were looking at the multiple new visits. So if you just do that, if you just select whatever you want, and here you hit plan visits with selected customer, all those visits are going to be created. Let me see if I create this Kroger CO and maybe Randall's 602. If I create it for, oh, okay. Okay, if you want to select a different date, it is going to again come up. You have to again search. Okay, so maybe for 16th I want. So it is like Randall 601 and Kroger. Let us see what it says. Plan visits with selected customers. So every time the application is going to give you kind of messages that whether things are created. So if you go to now this visit list, see plan visits are created. and it is those 90 minutes visits, depending on the visit template it has taken. Now, if the visit template is not there, or the in the visit template the timing is not defined, then it is going to take from customer visit settings. If it is not there, then it is going to take the user. I mean, if the user is assigned to this visit, it is going to take from the sales org and user. So all of these are, see, I have created, so this is, I am responsible for it, but I think I can, yeah, I can change it to another one. So when you create a multiple new visit, it is, if the back office user is creating it, it will be assigned to the back office user, but you can manually go and change it. Okay. So this is how these two manual visit creations are. One is new and multiple. And we have now completed 1 hour. Do you want to go for a break for 10 minutes?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so 10 minutes break from now. We will come back at 6. For me, it is 6:35. 6:45. We will come back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm in. Let me know if you guys are in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, right. So let's do not delay it because a lot of things needs to be covered. Okay. Where is entire screen share? Okay. Mm, right. So yeah, right. So this is something that we were looking at, right? Customer visit settings. This is basically used for some particular visit plannings. This record is created at child as customer record. You may use or not use this feature. For a combination of management type and visit template, see, there is, management type, there is visit template. So management type, again, it says that must map to org unit user assignment. So if you have remembered, we studied this org unit, and there are users associated to org units. There are also users associated to sales orgs. So this one means org unit users. So a particular, if there is a set of management type and a particular visit template, you can have only one active customer visit setting for a specific period. Now, there is a particular field called duration there, duration in minute, day of work is also there, time of day is also there, frequency of call is also there. You have seen one, two, etc. there. So if someone is using this customer settings, which means for this particular account, there needs to be weekly visits, there need to be bi-weekly visits. So these kind of settings needs to be put on. Details are here. I have already given you the link if you want to explore more. And yes, validity is there. Active is there. Only one active settings. Only active settings are used. So whichever setting for a particular given period for management type X and visit template, A, there is only one active template. Yeah, there might be another visit template B for which, for the same validity period, you may have another visit template with the same or different management type. So the combination needs to be looked at. This one. Okay. So this is customer visit settings. And this is also, along with the visit template, this is also another object that controls many internal what do I say, internal functioning of the visits. Okay, visit planning automatic. So now we have this one. I'll just go back to the application. So this one's our multiple one. Okay, so there is one more called this one, visit planning. So if I click here, visit planning, what am I going to see? Okay, so visit planning only has this automatic, sales org and the week that you want to, create the visit for. So depending on the customer visit setting, how frequently your visits will be created, which visit template is being used, and then in the visit template or in the customer visit settings, what is the start and time, what is the duration, all of those will be taken care of. So, and it will also check for the duplicate, I think. Say for a particular account already at a certain time a visit is created, it is going to check for that duplicate as well. Let's read this, what it says. It based on, we create visits based on matching of customer visit setting, which is active, and inputs given in the input form. So whatever you give input, if the customer visit setting matches it, then it is going to create the visit. The automatic visit planning generate visits for a customer if the first day of the selected week is within the validity period of an active management relation, which means, okay, second one, we will read this. If you added the user as a customer manager and they have the requisite access permissions, and if the customer visit settings is valid. So we knew about the customer visit setting. We have two more parameters here, which is one is customer manager. So the user who is creating this is generally used by the sales rep himself. Okay, because here there is nothing, called, whom you can create as a responsible person, because it is going to also check if the user who is using this is a customer manager of that account. So sometimes or not all the back office users will be assigned to all the customers as managers, because they have to create these visits in advance. So if your requirement is like that your sales rep will not do not create any this kind of visits, they will just create an ad hoc visit, and they are not empowered to do these. In that case, what you have to keep in mind, that as a customer manager you have to include your back office users as well, or sales managers as well, along with the sales rep. Okay, so what is a customer manager? Have I got that? No, my this one, surplus planning. I think a customer manager was told before also. I'll just check. If it is not there, I'll just show you here. Okay, customer manager is this one. I'll go here. Yeah, so if I go to any account, say I go to this account, okay, here is, yeah, I have already gone to customer manager. So here is a so somebody was asking in the initial one first session or second session, that how account is different from our normal sales application and consumer goods cloud. So these are all these different things. Customer visit settings is there, customer manager is there. In sales, you will see an account team, right, like this. But here you will also see customer manager. So if you add somebody as a customer manager, that person will automatically be also added as an account team member. And there are two jobs running at the back end, uh, and it is a nightly job, I think, that checks whether all the customer managers are added as account team and all those. So those are the things which are a bit different from normal account in sales org. Okay, you can see all these as well. Org units and all related lists are there. So it sees this advanced visit, whatever we are using now, this one, it will visit planning. It is going to see customer visit settings. It is going to see whether the responsible person, whoever is creating it, he will become the responsible person by default, right? So whoever is creating is, if he is added to this particular customer as a customer manager. So that is also will be seen by the application. So a lot of these criterias will be there. When you see the help pages, you'll be able to understand. So what it does is it will check for the duplicates as well. So if I just select, say, week or 23rd, let's see if it generate visits and how many. Selected week is 9, which means it says it is the which number of week it is for the whole year. It starts from January. So generate visits, yeah. So it has created visits for 4, which means for maybe for 4 customers, or 4 visit settings it has matched. So if we now go to the visits, and sorry, I will just remove this. And if I now do this, see, there are 4 visits created: 1, 2, 3, 4, 23rd, 24th, 23rd, 23rd. So these are all created for different. See, NTO store 201, 23rd is created. It depends on depending on the customer visit setting. NTO store 226, again, it has a customer visit settings on, which which day of the week it will be created. And these stores might be two customer visit settings are active, for different kind of managements. So yeah, so this is visit planning is a bit complicated because you will have to always tally with the customer visit, and you will have to set up the customer visit settings records, thinking of this one visit planning, how it is going to reflect in your visit planning. It is a bit complex way of doing things. There are some, other ways, like you have job list planning, you have advanced visit, you have trip list planning, you have calendar. Definitely, you have calendar as well. So all these visits which are planned, if I go to the calendar, I should be able to see this. So okay, I'll go from here. So calendar, if I go here, let's see what visits are there. My events. Okay, in calendar you can also see yours and others, things. So you see all of these are created and are reflected in the calendar. Okay, so yeah, so these visits will be reflected in the calendar. Whatever, new visit or trip list planning, job list planning, everything will come into the calendar. Okay, sorry. Right. So, yeah, so this is something that we have gone through. And yes, the details have been given here. It's given here already. So, any criteria that you want to double check, you will be able to do it here. Okay. Job list planning. It is, okay. Yes. Job lists are a group of questions. Okay, let's go through this one first. That what is a job list? Job lists are a group of questions and surveys associated to some products, and job lists are applicable for a period. You can use job lists to plan and to create visits. Uh, the job lists that aren't added to any visit can be used by supervisor and sales reps for visit planning. So if you already have a visit already, you have some planned visit in the calendar, then you will have, some activities there. But in case you want to kind of go through certain jobs, you know for those certain visits, maybe for those accounts you do not really go through those activities always. It may be a promotional job list, it may be seasonal job list, it may be for, generally it is for, the examples that you will see, it will be mostly for promotional activities, like say cool drinks, things like that. So these job lists are going to be added to any existing visit. You can do that, you can create a job list and add a visit to that, and then if certain criterias are matching, then those questions or those, whatever items, whatever activities you have defined in the job list, if those activities are active and all, those are going to be reflected into that visit. And when you open those visits, those questions will come up. You can, your sales rep can go through those questions. So there are some conditions, which you will have to kind of look at when you do an exercise, kind of, demo with this. You will have to check whether the visit date falls within the validity period of the activity. See, there is a valid from and valid to, right? The user assigned to the job list is same as the user responsible for a visit. The visit template in the job list, so each job list will also have a visit template associated, is the same as a visit template that is used for the creating the visit. The customer assigned to a job list is the same as the customer for whom you are creating the visit. So there are, some conditions which should be met. So I had, kind of thought of showing you something, job list 2871. Which one is that? To show. So first we will just see what are these job lists. That is the first step to understand how to create visits with job lists. So these are the job lists. Which one I thought I'll show you? 2871. Okay, is it there? 2871. Yeah, special cookies. Okay, why does that? Okay, so special cookies. If you see this particular job list, special cookies, it has a customer, particular customer. It has a particular visit template, which is grocery sales. User, it has a validity date as well. So when I go to this particular job list, if I go inside, it is just those information that you are seeing. Now, you can edit this information. If you want, you can kind of remove this visit to, if you have added something mistakenly, a visit mistakenly of you, or you do not need to have this particular visit, these activities, this job list, then you can remove and kind of add another visit if you want, or you can just create a job list without any visit for future use. Yeah, that is possible. Who is the user? Chantal Rep is the user. So you will see probably this visit is also created by or assigned to Chantal Rep. Otherwise, you won't be able to, see the questions even. Okay. So this is the job list. Now, you will see that any job list will have an activity, and because through that activity only you are going to associate activities. So special cookies is the activities. Now, in the special cookies activities, what are the things that you have? You have an activity template. So this special cookies activity is actually part of an activity template, which is called promotion survey. So all these questions are supposed to be related to any product's promotion. And now, since you have activity as special cookies, these questions will be pertaining to probably some special cookies of this particular company for whom they are running a promotion. So all these questions will be there, and you will see the products is those, are those, and you will also see that the customers are these, which means if you are creating any visit which is a visit created for any of these customers, and all the others parameters and criterias are also matching, then only those questions will be visible. Say if you have another customer ABC who is not added to special cookies activity, then you will not be able to create a visit through that job list for ABC customer. Everything needs to match. Okay, so job list. So in a nutshell, if we don't go to activity right now, this is a job list, and here you can add a visit, or else when you create a visit from this here, you have this one, job list planning. There is a button and you can do it. We will come to this one soon. But first, if we have the background, that is better actually to understand, to connect the dots. Otherwise, it is a bit difficult. Okay. So So job list planning has an activity life cycle. So it is like, this is something that is again, very important to understand the whole activity life cycle when it comes to job list. This is very important because most of our consumer goods customers will try to use job list planning. And that is why, because you will try to reuse the questions, right? You cannot just go and add questions to each and every visit. There will be thousands of visits in a particular year, right? So how it hmm. so how it is created is, first record that is going to be created is job template. Then it is job definition template. Job template is again, it is a kind of placeholder that says whether it is the activity will be some questions or it will be survey. So for consumer goods cloud, survey is different and questions are different. Questions are going to be just listed and there will be scores there, and surveys are like surveys. So this is just the type that it is going to say. And then using this template, you're going to create definition template. And definitions are generally all those questions, that you are going to use in questionnaire or surveys. And then there is something called activity template. You have seen that the activity template was that promotion template, right? So group multiple job definition template. So yes. So activity template is going to group your job definition template, and then when you create the activity, it is going to be specific to a product or it is going to be specific to some customers. As you have seen that in the activity there are some products, there are some customers, only for those products and activities those questions will be applicable. And then job list generation, like creating the activities. Yeah, so there are some batch processes that can be activated, through which you can create job list as well. And then activity execution, that is execution of the visit, where the sales rep is going to go through those questions or surveys. So this is the life cycle. What is an activity template? You have seen activity and activity template. Yeah, right. So here, job template and job definition template. These are, I will show you. First one is job template. It is not a very, complex thing. It is just, the description. I think this one and job template name. And you do not, try to change all these, description language and description. These are kind of, templates that would be used for, see, job definition templates can be added. So if it is template, if it is question type template, you are going to add some, questions here. So any job definition template related to a particular sales org, again, I mean, it might be applicable for a product or it might be a generic one, for any visit applicable for that particular customer. You may want to put these questions. So product reference is also something that job template talks about. So sales org is again that account needs to belong to this sales org. Then only this job template could be used. So if you see, there are job definition templates that could be added here. So when you create a job template, immediately this one will be empty, right? This one related list will be empty because you still do not have any question. Now when you go to job definition template, this is more like one question. Second placement has been built, or there are so many questions. Is the POS branded? Is the shelf maintenance done? Is the display area available in stores? These are the real questions that you see in job definition template. Now, if you see this job definition template, question is there. Definitely job template, which job template you are going to include it, that is there. And then what is the data type? So there are some, data type available. If it is not, you can create any new data type as well here from here. Okay, sorry. And then if it is active, what is the sales org? Measure type is store. I mean, it is more applicable for the mobile device, because in mobile device you are going to see the accounts as stores. I mean, there I mean, even if you don't set up retail store here, you will see this as store. So measure type would be store. Store and point of sales, these two. So it depends on, mm, what your customer needs. If it is just store, then it will be only for those, your company's store. If it is point of sales, I think it is applicable for any any shop where your products are sold and you have a point of sale. Okay, presetting. There is no presetting here. Last value, target value, all of these are the target value column facing, do you have any target value for this? Yes. So yeah, so in case you have, any kind of target value in your mind, that the target value should be, the target value also should be somewhere, but I don't see that. But if you are primarily looking at for this question, is it like facing you are trying to understand? Is it like, how many products are faced towards the customers, or some are, maybe below the shelf or above the shelf? How many facings are there? So that kind of, questions you would be able to set here. So target value is facing. Presetting, last value or target value. Survey identification, again facing. So it depends on, what you want to put here. Consider minimum value, consider maximum value. What is the minimum value of the facings that should be? You are selected here the target value as facings, right? So how many do you want? 5, or do you want the, so when you see that in your planogram, whatever picture of planogram you may have, you have to have 5 of our products facing the customer, but in realogram it might be better or less. So that you will, put down in your comments or somewhere in the visit. But this is what the target value is. It is, given. Now consider minimum value or maximum value. When you are doing that particular survey, what are you going to consider? Are you going to consider minimum, maximum, both, or are you going to consider only the minimum? If minimum is there, then it's fine. Or is there anything like in some countries or areas, there might be laws, right? That for alcohol or for cigarettes, you cannot keep more than, 10 as customer facing. So those kind of scenarios will call for considering maximum value. So those are the type of things that in a job definition template you are going to put in. And then you add all those questions to the job template itself. Okay. Now we go to these two we have seen. Now we are going to activity template creation. What is an activity template? Again, you group job definition template as activity templates. So what are those, activity templates? Activity templates can be standard or event driven. I mean, it can be just standard for every visit for a particular account, or it can be event driven, like it can be just for a promotion, just for seasonal activities. Okay, so assign job definition template to activity template. So if you are not using job template right now, just a moment back you were adding job definition templates to the job templates, right? You can add them to activity templates as well, because you might not be using job list right everywhere, but you might be using activity. So in that activity, if the questions are there, and those are standard questions, job lists are basically for special questions, additional questions, but activity template can be standard or event driven. Okay, I mean, those are the general use cases that are being used. So if you see this job lists, sorry, this activity templates, let's see this activity templates. Hmm. So this is an activity template. This is standard. These are for job lists. So standard customer no products, which means it is not for specific products, just for specific customer. Here it means that they are specific for customers and specific for products. So if you read the description, you would be able to understand what kind of templates the records have, and accordingly, as per your customers need, you can have some standard, like maybe you have 5 standard activities, you can choose from here, or you can create another, you can always create another one. Okay, so here in the, sorry, say in any standard activity template, again you will kind of see that the sales org is related, whether it is active is related, whether you are going to consider the customer is related, whether it is standard for each and every visit of that customer is also there. Display in cockpit, see this, it means that in the visit cockpit, this in the mobile device, there is user cockpit, there is visit cockpit. So in the visit cockpit, these activities would be seen or not seen in the mobile device. So that settings is also there. Duration is definitely there, measured in weeks and all, but not needed. And then, yeah, so all these are kind of the actual data for activity template. And here again, you can add those questions. So once you create new, see, you are asked to add the job definition template, which are there. Always remember that job definition templates are the actual questions. And if you are going to use, you know, activity templates only, not job list planning or anything, then you can just add, those questions to activity templates. But if you are planning to use job list planning as well, then in the job list as well, you will have to kind of add these questions, the same questions that you want to appear in the job list.
And for
Yeah, tell
sorry
me.
to interrupt.
Mm.
For job definition, is there questions we have to add, and the questions are predefined, or I can add
No, you
some.
can add. You can add. You can
So
add.
how the system defined according to the question in the fields? How the system defines the fields according to the question? I mean, as you said, as you showed earlier, that
Mm.
whenever I open a question and
Mm.
question,
Mm.
there are certain fields we
Mm.
have to fill in. So
Mm.
how the system defines according to the various questions I have asked, they have filtered the fields.
Yeah, so so very, it is not that for different questions you are going to have different fields. It is just same fields you will get, but the questions will be different. Here the template name would be different, description will be different. Okay, you can always go and kind of what do I say here, right? Job definition template, if you create new, you can
Mhm.
just create example kind of thing, example question, anything. and then you
Okay.
can just put it is the same thing that is there everywhere. It's not tied
Okay.
up to type of question.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So right. Hmm. So, yeah, we have seen activity template and job definition templates which are assigned to the activity template. Now, the next thing is creating the activity. To automatically relate an activity to visits, create an activity and then add a visit template to the activity. So say this is an awareness activity. If you create this, it will ask you to create a visit to associate a visit template and associate an activity template. Whenever a visit is created by using this visit template, the activity will be automatically added to the visit. But again, the predefined conditions are like the customers must be the same. When you add a customer set to an activity, the job list created for the activity is applicable to all the customers. Or you can say the activity itself is applicable for all those customers who are added as customer or customer set. The automatic activity activation process updates job lists after every modification. So if you go to an activity here and you try to add another question or maybe make a question mandatory or something like that, in those cases, you might have 10 visits which are already associated to this activity. Like you may have, 5 questions which are already, now you are updating and, creating one more question, maybe mandating one more question. So if you have this, button, when you hit this button, it is going to update all your visits with the updates that you have done here. Let's, okay, let's go to the activity so that you understand more. Where is the activity here? Okay. So whenever you are new activity. So whenever you are creating a new activity, it is going to first ask you for creating a activity for selecting an activity template. So here are 3 activity templates which are recent, but you can whatever is available you can use. So when you click on continue, you have a form here where you are going to have all those validity period and everything. Activity name, you may have a special promotion activity going on for a special you know chips or sports bar or things like that, those breakfast bars and all. So there might be a lot of products for which you want to do promotion, and then you create you select a visit template. Now, the visit template that you select here, say if you select grocery sales, it means if you are not using customer visit settings, in that case, the customers that you have under this particular activity will always, use this particular visit template when creating the activities. Okay. Now, I think this one is something uh, same as this one. Activity name and description language should be same. So there is some background process that runs. Okay. If you see all the here, sorry, I will come back to this. If you see all these, why is it? Okay. Now, if you see any activity which is there in this application, it is not allowing me to. Okay, I'll just close this and let me go to the activities again. Any of the activity that you see or general activity name and description, or most of the time they match. You can change the description or you may keep it same. Yeah, see, the description is kind of driven by, activity name. I don't know, you are not able to change it anymore, which means once you create it, you are not able to change it anymore. There is no edit button here, which means this has some specific background process here, which I mean. But anyway, description language one. Yeah, this is something again. I mean, these are language settings. This should be same because this is what you are going to see in English, right? And our first, the language setting in this application is only English. So if you have multi-market here in the same org, you may have to have different types of language here. Okay. Related. Okay, consider listing, consider history. We have seen this. Now here, related. This is very important. You see here, you have questions, you have products, you have activity customer, you have activity customer sets and files. So what are customers? So if you just, randomly say that, in my area, there are 10 customers and I want all these activities to be conducted for all these customers, go and add those 10, no problem. You can hit new and add those. Activity customer sets are again, you have to create customer sets first. So if you, again, yeah, so it is asking you for customer set. Okay. So a lot of things are actually there in Consumer Goods Cloud, which is different, pertaining to account as well. Customer set is more about the, territory alignments. So if you have a particular territory depending on the geography or maybe depending on the market, what is preferable in the market. So if you have that kind of territory defined, those rules will, be defined. And there are territory rules also, which you can utilize in Consumer Goods Cloud because it is on top of sales and service, right? So territory rules and create customer sets, and you can add any customer set here. And from that, from these customer set, the if you create a visit for any of those customers in the customer set, then all these questions will be added. Now, when you use customer set and when you use customer is for, a handful of things because it is manual. See, you have to create one record here. So activity customer sets is more territory related. In a particular territory, there might be hundreds of customers. So you might not like to just create, hundreds of customers, hit 100 times this new. You will have a customer set already defined from before. You will import that data from somewhere, or somebody will create an automation and all those customer set will be already created, and then add this from the customer set. It is all done then. Okay. For some, if you see, if you have added those, you are not able to delete those. I mean, there is nothing called removal or anything, but there is something called excluded. So if in a set or in a, manual set, if you see that, for I want this particular activities for only these 5, but I don't want for this one, you can just go and exclude it. You can just edit and exclude it. Yeah, you can edit it and exclude it. Okay. Similar goes for, these these questions as well. You can make any of the question mandatory, and you can make any of the question excluded also. So maybe this activity you have used, last in the last 6 months, where you have made these 2 questions mandatory. Now you want to use all those visits are done in that 6 months. Now for the next 6 months, you want to make some other questions mandatory, whatever reason that may be. You want to exclude one question from here, but you want to keep this record intact. Okay. So you have that option to exclude things, to make things mandatory for another, time, or maybe you just, copy this particular activity and make that another one. But instead of increasing, volume of records, it is always advisable that you, if you have a record and you can make use of it, please go ahead and make use of all these fields. Let's see a particular question. These are all, I think, LWC pages. It takes time. Okay. So if you see,
I have one question
yeah, tell me.
regarding a job list. Okay.
Hmm.
So the job list, like the job list planning, like tasks, yes, tasks to Salesforce representative, right?
Hmm.
For each store visit, like
Hmm.
take stocks, take order,
Hmm.
like right.
Those are activities basically. Job list,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean, that can also be there. I mean, it depends on for what purpose you are using the job list. If it is um, for that kind of, standard things that you want to,
Hmm.
then it is advisable that you just use activity template.
Okay.
Because
Like
activity template.
whatever, like
Hmm,
today is a like Sunday or Monday,
hmm,
okay?
hmm,
Okay, so then like Monday, whatever activity is Monday, to
hmm.
then we can that Monday's data we can store in the job list, right? That type of
You can.
things.
You can do it through the activity template. You can do it through the job
Hmm.
list. Job list is more like, say this Monday, wherever you
Hmm.
go, you have to ask these, you know, two questions which are extra. Maybe each
Hmm.
Monday you do a particular, survey, like, what happened in the weekend, kind of that kind of thing. I mean, it is not for every day, just for Monday, maybe.
Monday.
So for
Hmm.
that, so for those special reason, it is advisable to use job list, and for any other, you can use normal activities.
Okay, good. Got it.
Okay. I will come to job list again because activity is very much related to this. That's why we are finishing the activity thing first.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do not have much time. We are already past the time. So do you have some time to finish this part, job list at least? Or do you have to go anywhere after this?
No, no, no.
You can
I have.
continue, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, okay. Mm. Right. So I can see if you hit the edit button here, maybe this is a question where I have come in. So this is a question tied to a particular sales org, and here, okay, condition, display, okay. So sometimes, sometimes I mean, in these questions, when you add these questions and then go and edit it in the activity, we are in the activity, okay. So here you can also have sequential questions, like, first question is display, okay. The sort order is maybe 100 for this particular question, okay, display, okay. So that was okay, that is 109. See, it comes before this, which means in condition you will get all the questions which comes before this particular question, okay. So for our case, we guess display, okay. Why I am giving this condition? Because if display okay is yes, if the, your store manager says or your field rep gives an answer as yes in the visit, you choose that, and then only you choose that, and then only and then you consider a score for this, okay. If you consider a score for this score is basically something like this: 150. You do those scores, you write those scores for each and every of your questions if you want your questions to be score based. So what will happen is, in analytics, whatever reports you build, or even in the visit, you can put this score, how much score my visit answers have. So in our application, I think we have made such automations where it goes, and the automation, when the visit gets completed, the automation will look at the questions, look at the scores, and say if the score is above certain percentage, say 80%, or below 80%. And it will, it is going to mark that account as, as maybe, needs more attention, or this account is fine. So that kind of automations you can do. For those purposes, you will need score. And yeah, I mean, it depends on your customer. If he wants to see this kind of scoring, you can also, you know do this. So score relevant answer, good, bad, etc. It will be 50%. If you say, if it is 3, it will be 33.33 for each. I mean, if somebody says, if you have created a question with these answers, it means that the sales rep can tick any one of them when he sees that in a visit, right? And any one of them, if he clicks, it is going to be 33.33%. But if it is just to say good or bad, you are giving just good or bad, it is just divided in 50-50. Okay, so it's like that. You can, always, think of this course, how you can do it, and then work on these questions. So this was one more important thing when I was talking about activities. Now coming back to job list, we have seen this one, right? So this job list has an activity called, if you want to see, I mean, one after the other. Okay, so what questions my job list has? So this is a job list. Okay, I have this activity here. Just go to this activity and look at the questions. Okay, what are the questions I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So now, what are the customers I have? I have these customers. I don't think we have more. Okay, we have 10 customers here associated, Minimart, etc. We have. Now, I am trying to go to this particular job list. Which visit is associated with it? This one. Okay. So when I go to this visit, I see that the account is Minimart, which means customer matches. Okay. The visit template is grocery sales. And what was the visit template here? Grocery sales. Okay. So that also matches. Okay. And Chantel Rip, I don't know if this guy is the customer manager of this account. Can I go to this account and check? Mm. So when you do testing, all these will be, needed. Mm. Okay, customer manager is Chantal Rep the manager. Yeah, Chantal Rep is the manager. His validity, she has a validity period, and it falls within the validity period. I can see. Okay, let me now see if I can see the questions. If I don't see, it means something else is there, which is not. Yeah. So those are some questions, which are, there. So some questions there are a lot of questions, you can see, not 5. So from special cookies, you have these questions. And for one question, you have also default answer there. Which one is that? So you can even do that. See, test question update. Yeah. Mandatory. Presetting. I've done none, but maybe now it is none. Maybe it was preset before. Last value, target value, not the presetting. I think it is, it depends on the previous question, the presetting. What was the last value? Okay, but even you can do that. Mandatory, which one is another mandatory question for this? Special cookies? Sorry. Job list. Okay, we went to this job list. This one, the activity is special cookies. This one is also mandatory. Display, okay. Presetting is none. Okay, answers yes, no. I think here it is somewhere. Consider score, no, there is nothing. Maybe I have changed it later. But there are ways to make it. I mean, you can just make one answer appear there as a pre-default. Okay. Oh, that might be in the job definition template. Okay. Now I will go to this particular visit and I'll try to see if, where is this visit? Oh, this is random. So, yeah, visit. Okay, so I have seen these questions, and some questions are, mandatory. So if I just try to not answer those questions and just try to, kind of, where are those? Uh, previous, and try to come back, then in that case, the visit will not be ended. So now, for this visit, if I just start the visit, you can't start a template. Okay, so you cannot start it from here. You have to start actually from the questions. So you have to view questions. You can only start if you are in a tablet. I mean, if you are in a mobile device. Otherwise, based visit cannot be started from web. So unless, I mean, it is asking you to answer these questions. Yes, no, yes, no. You see, this is like good, bad. You know, perfect store is a particular activity which we can see, and then we can save it. And then let's see if we can complete visit. Okay. Yeah, you can complete the visit. You have completed all the visits. So if I now go back to the, so here if you see, it was only referring to the activities. I mean, those names that were appearing beside the questions, those are all actually, see, here is a visit here. Those are all actually activities. So here is a visit here, and activity is cool drinks. So if we just see cool drinks here, there are some questions like this. Three questions: audit assets, planogram compliance, etc. Nothing is mandatory here. So if I, no, not this one, cool drinks activity, and hmm, this was special cookies. Sorry, I forgot again. Which one was this? This one, right? Cool drinks. Yeah. So if I go to this job list, I can see this visit. And again, I can view these. I should be able to view all these questions. Next, last. If not, it means this is either not active, or, uh, maybe it is not for that customer. So yeah, so this is how you actually, so yeah, so when you see your questions are not coming up, check always whether your customer manager is the same person who has created this visit. Okay, who has created or responsible for this visit, sorry. Is your the customer for which this visit is created is also part of that activity? Is that activity is active? So all those parameters have to be also be kind of satisfied. If the job list also is active, if the job list is within that kind of time range, because this visit was a old visit, so maybe it is not in the job range anymore. It might be that the job list has expired, so things like that might occur. So whenever you want to create standard activities, create activity templates, activities, and add job definition templates with job templates, so that in activities you can add those questions. Okay. And now what happens is, whenever you create job lists, either you know within that validity period, you add an existing visit which is there in that validity period, or else when you go to the visit, you have a button called job list planning, this one. So through this also, so now I come here saying that how from visit you can create a new visit all with all the job lists. So if you see, it means in this particular date range, this is something that come up, this is something that the application has come up with, that okay, for this particular account you can create a job list based visit. Okay, so what is this account name? Okay, so this is, let's see the job list. What job list can it be? Source is this. What is the source? Source is that activity where this new flavor activity is added to a job list. So can I see where this new flavor activity is there? New flavor cookies. This is A. New flavor. Is it not there anymore? How can we? It came up, right? New flavor. I don't know why it is not coming up. Okay, it is for Kroger store. What? Let's close this. Close this. It is for, oh, this one. This account. Let's see for this account, where are the oh, I cannot search like that. Ah, this one, right? Customer key. MNOP. I can just see Kroger store. Where is KU? So for this, I don't see a lot of this are there. I mean, these are just, few that are created. One created by different people. And one is, see, new flavor cookies. This one was, the job list was awareness activities. There is no visit created with this one yet. So if you create a visit, that visit is going to come here. Okay, let us go to visit. Lot of windows open. So if you create a visit here, I'm just closing this. I think we have this one, right? If it really creates a visit, what is the time? 15 to, and what is the job list timing? Okay, 8. Okay, let's see. One visit is successfully created. Say it says that visit is created on for the date 15th, means today. Which means if I go to all visits, I should be able to see it. Yeah, it is created for this particular account. And 419, this one, right? Let's see if I see the visit comes here. You can see the visit here now created, right? So all this internal tying up, how the data is flowing from one object to another, is all done internally. That is why it is already always recommended that stick to what is provided. You can do some custom changes, custom, very less customized changes, like if you want to make something mandatory, if you want to validate something, all those. But more of your work will be based on setup and data. What job lists are you going to create for your customer? What templates are they going to use? What visit templates are you going to use? What kind of activities do they have? So most of the activities in Consumer Goes Cloud, I mean, from a developer's perspective or from a implementation side, is they most of those are based on what data you have, what requirement is there. Based on that requirement, what templates you are going to use, what questions you are going to use, what type of visits you are going to solve them. So scope of customization is limited. Not only that, if you just want to do, few automations and all, you may figure out that okay, those automations already exist in some or other way. Because if you see the help doc, there are developers help doc as well, for Consumer Goods Cloud, where it talks about all the batch processes and all. Those I am not very aware of, but I am aware of couple of them, like how some batch processes which are, I don't remember on top of my head. One batch process is like if you add a sales rep as a customer manager to an account, then automatically it gets added as a team member, as your account team member. So automations like that, and then if click some settings in your this one in your web, depending on the mobile settings, all those data also flows to your mobile whenever syncing settings and all. So all those syncing also have some jobs that go on at nightly mode. So few things are already there, not few things, I mean a lot of things are already there. So I would say do not just try to automate a lot of things, because it is already there. Okay. So yeah, so this is awareness activities. Now if I'm just taking a kind of checking thing that okay, do I really have these, can I see these, are these, I don't even know if these are active. Placement type. So even if the questions are not even active, then those will not. Okay, so what is the visit that we created? This one, right? Let's see if we have those questions. There are some standards. See if something that are applied as standard. No, those are not coming. Which means right now you only have this standard promo evaluation. You have something to, I mean, it has something to do with the either the period or I have created this, but maybe the visit template doesn't belong to the customer that belongs to this visit. There I am not a customer manager, so all those parameters are there. So it is a kind of, see here nothing is there, it is only for the this one Kubosh kiosk is store compliant, and everything is coming from the standard promo evolution. So if I see this, let's see that, then go activities. Standard, is this the one that we saw? Shelf focus. No, it is main shelf focus. So it's the other one then. Standard. Hmm. Which one is that? Is that not an activity? Then what is that? Job list. No. Not sure from where this standard activity is coming. I will have to check that then, where it is coming from. But I'm not getting that here. Standard again, because it should come from here. No. Come from activities, basically. Or is it activity template that it is looking at? Then, maybe. Okay. This is something that I have to look at. But yeah, that is the idea, that as long as a job list is active and you do not have any visit associated to it, that and you are say Chantel rep, you are logged in into the application as Chantel rep, then if you select that job list planning, sorry, if you select that job list planning in visits, then some see, no records were found because only one was there and we have already created. Now if I just do it for 16th, let's see, I mean, it is just going to come up. It is because only one was there and we have already created. So what you can do is, for this, say for this particular job list, you have already created a visit, things are associated, but you want to reuse it, you can always remove it. you know while doing the testing, we had done it multiple times. Then you just remove the visit, and if you remove the visit, you will see even the visit dates are gone now, it's not there anymore. So now if you again click on that, you will be able to again see it. So only those job lists are going to come up for which there is no visit associated. So this means that one job list associated with only one visit at a time. If you want to use the same if you want to kind of have the same questions for say another visit, and you cannot remove the other visit, then it is advisable to kind of copy this job list and kind of copy the activities that the job list has. So if you just create a new job list, and you again put on the awareness activities there, you put on the description there, automatically all your customers and all are coming from the activities, right? And then visit template is also coming. So you just create the job list with the same visit template with whichever account you want to create the visit with, and see that in awareness activities you have that customer as part of their customer set, or just manual customer. So for ABC customer, you have now these three customers. For ABC customer also, you want to use this activity, awareness activity, and you want to do it through a job list. Then you just create a job list. Use this particular activity there when you are creating the job list. And then automatically all these questions are referred. But what is not there is your customer ABC. It is not there. What you do is just go and add that customer ABC. And keep in mind that your customer visit settings doesn't have any other, um, visit template. If it has, then it is also a kind of testing scenario that which template is being referred to, or it must be the same template always, even for the customer visit settings. So because customer visit settings under accounts is a bit complicated concept, you have a lot of use cases and loads of testing needs to be done. Not all test case knowledges or all use case knowledges will not be there in your help document. There will be some, but not more, not a lot. So it is more like you will have to do testing, you will have to do research on, okay, if I am using this activity, my template is this, but my ABC account have a different template in customer visit settings, then how my job list visit behaves. Does it only goes to the activity route, or it also looks at the customer. When it matches the customer, it also look at the customer visit settings. We have not used that. That's why we have not done a lot of research till now. So this might be something that you want to, kind of test when you go home today. When you come out of the training, if you have some spare time sometime, you can just add a new customer and then try to see that what visit template is getting associated. Is it this, or is it any customer visit setting different template? Okay, so this is job list basically. The thing is, when you right now, I think in this job list only one of them are active, the one that I and one is on my name. Others are all Chantel Rip, see, and others. That is why you are also. So you, if you log in as Chantel Rep, log in as another user. If you log in as Chantel Rep and you just change some of these, validity to 2026 end, you will be able to see a lot of other, job lists also. And when you go to this visits and create job list here, sorry, this session is a bit long because this is very associated with each other. So when you do the job list planning, you may get, like, just like, multiple visits, you may get, multiple job lists here. And if you see, you can select more than one. This is a checkbox here, not a radio button kind of a thing. So you will be able to, only the combination will be different, like the account will be different, the visit template and account combination will be different, the source will be different. Maybe it is the same account, but the question is different, where the source will become different. So you can select multiple and plan visits with job list. So this is something that is, again, creates a multiple visits, has an ability to create multiple visits. Okay, so what did we complete today? We completed till job list planning. Yeah, we completed this. And next we will go for trip list, and then visits from calendar, and then map based visits. And then I might, tell you something about the mobile device synchronization as well, because all of these are really very big. I mean, map, though I do not even have the map license, so I had a session with Rito Broto. He has some view because he has the map, but I will only be able to show you some, videos. And we have trip list and we have visits from calendar. Okay. Advanced visit is also there. Trip list planning is there. So I guess our next session will also be a bit, long, maybe, if we want to, complete everything. Okay. I think that's all for today. And let's kind of stop sharing. And we will see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm going to, yeah.